No, there it is. Good morning, beloveds. Pardon the bright white shoulders. Actually, they're not as white as they used to be. It's hot. We went to the gym today, and at 6:30 this morning, it was 83 degrees. I'm not looking forward to this summer. I gave up halfway through the essay we were doing yesterday, so we're going to finish that today. So let's get the housekeeping done, which is me reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, then you get a weekly email that tells you what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information or to the person that can help you get it. It's also, it's a blind CC, so nobody's going to see your email, so you won't end up on anybody else's email because of us. So it's worth doing. And then the last thing on the housekeeping is the social media. It's just reminding you that that we don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is engage with our pages because it bumps us in the algorithms. And then more people see our stuff. So we are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark on the social medias, and I'm the running Rev Ryan. So what we ask you to do is go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment based on which platform you're on, what it's asking you to do. And definitely with the posts, like them and comment on them and share them. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So Living the Science Mind. So these are essays taken out of the take-home course, which you may be able to find used copies of it. They bound it into about 6 books. But it used to be available at the back of the magazine, and you could send off for it, and then they'd send you a lesson a week for 48 weeks. So that's where most of these essays come from. But really, honestly, I think that basically people would write Ernest Holmes, or they'd come up to him and, ask him questions. They may even call him and say, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? So, he would answer them, and here we are. So, I can totally see a lot of people going to Ernest going, well, what about God's will? So hence, and it was 7 pages. And so I was like, I got halfway through it. And I was like, it's a lot of work. This one was a lot of work, and I'm only halfway through it. So I was like, when I was like, now let's go on to this other proposition, I was like, you know what? Let's just do that tomorrow. So that's what we're about to do. What I love about this book is I've never actually sat down and read it cover to cover, which is what I'm doing now. I read various class assignments. It's also a great book just to flip open and say, okay, well, what do I need to know today? Let us not fool ourselves. That would be an excellent article for today, right? But that's not the one we're doing today because we are actually reading it cover to cover. So if you have this version, I'm starting on the bottom of 144. I also noticed that I keep forgetting to change the dates, and I think it's because I'm not doing a daily, even though I'm doing it every day, I'm not doing a daily reading, so I forget to change the dates. So then I go back and change them when I move it to the social media, and I see that there's either something in my hair or, I'm going to wash it. Just see it sticking up. Okay. All right. I mean, my hair's just sticking out all kinds of crazy anyway, right? All right. So we are like I said, we are on page 144. We are doing part 2 of, God, the self-evident truth within you. That's what we're doing. Sorry. God, the self-evident, which means I didn't even change the title. Ugh. Not doing my job. Okay. We are doing the self-evident truth within you. And we are starting in the last paragraph that starts on 144. Next, we arrive at another proposition. Which is the truth is unchangeable. This is self-evident since there is nothing for the truth to change into. It cannot change into nothing because there is no such thing as nothing. It cannot change into itself because it already is itself. It remains persistent and permanent. If the truth cannot change, if it is permanent, if it is ever present, then it is always reliable. There is nothing but stability and nothing but security. The truth is faithful. The truth has no birth, evolution, or decay, because the truth is eternal and changeless, and because I exist, and because that which I am is it in me, it is self-evident that I am eternal. Such is the perception of immortality, deathlessness, and everlasting being. This is but another way of saying that God cannot die, that God is all there is, that God is the essence of my life, and it is my life, that I am an immortal and eternal being now. Not when I die, now. This body isn't eternal. This body changes, but the essence of who we are, that's what he's talking about, the essence of who we are. We next arrive at a conclusion which tends to liberate the mind from the thraldom of circumstances. The truth, being all there is both cause and effect. It is self-evident that truth has no cause and that there is no effect external to it. Therefore, cause and effect are one and the same thing. There is neither cause nor effect external to truth. Hence, any belief in the cause and effect of bondage has no substantiality, for it, if it had, bondage would be permanent, changeless, and inescapable. If truth were bondage, freedom would be unthinkable. The truth which sets us free is not the introduction of some higher power on a lower plane. It is the knowledge that there are no higher and no lower planes in truth, no higher and lower... Wait, what? This may be a typo. Hang on. It is the knowledge that there are no higher and no lower planes in truth, no higher and no lower laws in truth. Okay, I was like, what? You just said the same thing twice. Okay. Whoa. Occasionally when you're reading this, you're like, what? And then you realize, oh, you're missing a word. That word makes all the difference. Okay. There is merely what is, and the self-action of what is proclaiming itself to be that which it is. If truth were bondage instead of freedom, the very knowledge of truth would create more bondage. But since truth is freedom, then a knowledge of truth is freedom. To know the truth is to be free. Truth and freedom are identical. Cause and effect, therefore, become a plaything, a something to be used. Karma and kismet become bubbles to be blown about. Such is the perception of power. Such is the realization that the knowledge of truth is power. Power is that which compels, necessitates, authorizes, commands. Jesus taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. This was because he understood the nature of the spontaneous spirit within him and realized that the law of cause and effect is the mechanical method through which the word of power proves its authority. We arrived next at the perception of person, individuality, personality, and humanity. For again we may say, I think, therefore I am. Also, our fellow human may say, I think, therefore I am. The allness of truth delivers the message that in a certain sense, each is all because of the indivisibility of truth, and all is in each. Such is the mystery of individuality, which the mask of personality but dimly reveals. Okay. Well, the truth being all means that each individual is forced to be truth and nothing but truth. Truth does not deny individuality, personality, or humanity. It affirms that each exists in their apparently separate star, maintaining an eternal, changeless, and perfect identity in the allness of good. Each is an individualized expression of the one. I feel like I'm listening to a lawyer. He's making his argument. There is nothing which separates one individual from another, even while there is nothing which can annihilate, subtract from, or add to the individuality of each. Such totality in individuality and such individuality in totality is perceived, not so much by an intellectual process as by the very axiom itself, which delivers the necessity of accepting the principle of omnipresence. Huh? Honestly, what? Fortunately, the next sentence starts with the principle of omnipresence. Okay, so the principle of omnipresence also declares the principle of omniscience. Truth is not only all presence, it is all knowledge. Because this is so, an inventor can say, I know the answer to my problem. The author can say, my plot is worked out. The organizer can say, my organization is complete. By consciously practicing omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence, we prove in some measure that these self-evident abstractions are real necessities, reliable, substantial, and available. We need labor under no illusion that it is necessary to deny individuality, personality, or humanity in order to affirm the allness of God. Okay, what? I mean, effectively what he's saying here is your individuality does not take away from the allness of God. It's part of the allness of God. And your individuality does not separate you from the allness of God. But if truth is all there is, then truth is intelligence. Truth is what we call mind. Truth is idea. Idea becomes absolute. Idea reflects experience. The allness of idea destroys the belief in any physical, mental, or material universe external to concept. Creation becomes the contemplation of truth. Such is the perception of creativeness. Forms are real, but not self-sustained. They are nothing in themselves. There is nothing in such a reflected idea as to have control even over itself. This is a form. The essence of you is not a form. Forms are not self-sustaining, which is why eventually we will shed this form. Okay? Having established unity, individuality, let's try that again. Having established unity, indivisibility, permanence, power, omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence, we arrive at the conclusion of eternal dominion. It is self-evident that if the objective world were a thing in itself, and we were in no way connected with it other than by experiencing it as an external fact, we could not possibly exercise dominion. The truth would be in fragments which we should never be able to put together. Hence, we never could attain wholeness. The greatest teachings of the ages contradict the fragmentary theory and insist on resolving all apparent multiplicity into a final unity. Ernest, you've got 3 paragraphs to wrap this up. This unity is not some far-off event, but a present fact. Modern science tends in the same direction. I mean, we do have the God particle. So, the allness of truth, stated in the simplest manner, affirms that God is all there is. God never changes. God is in me. God is that which I am. God is in the universe. God is the universe. At first, People are ignorant of their true nature. The Word has become flesh, but self-conscious life has not yet emerged. The fusion of will, desire, and volition, without which there can be no personality, has not taken place. Finally, the Word not only becomes flesh, it also becomes person. People awaken to life, turn toward the light, and triumph over limitations. Therefore, our final self-evident proposition delivers the perception of bliss, wholeness, and perfection. The universal I am and the individual I are one in peace, joy, love, wisdom, beauty, and power. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was life, and the Word was light. And the light, through law, produced form, and the created form turned to the light, and the light of consciousness dawned. And people beheld the light and walked in it, and the light was all. So he finished it with poetry. Oh, I don't know, Ernest. I don't know. I gotta go change the title of it. God, the self-evident truth within you. So he just spent 7 pages arguing for why God is in you. And I mean, the biggest argument is simply that God is all there is. Well, if God is all there is, then everything's made from God, which means God is one you and in you, as you. The truth shall make you free. I don't know. I can see why that's not in any of the classwork, which is why I don't think I've ever read it before. That's something I think you learned from Emma. Interesting. That's why it took 2 parts to do it, because it was like I just hit that point. I was like, you know what? We're going to save the other half for tomorrow. All right. So, and on Monday, which is Memorial Day, we are going to do The Lord is My Shepherd. An interpretation of the 23rd Psalm. And it's short. It's only 3 pages, so it should be interesting. And then we'll go from there. All right. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. So now I'm going to take a quick drink. And I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A take care of business day. A you got this day. A hope you have another day off for Memorial Day. A let's remember Memorial Day. A cuddle your fur babies day. And enjoy the breezes day. A stay out of the heat day. A drink plenty of water day. A remember your sunscreen day. A do something interesting for yourself day. A take a break day. A take a nap day. A go be with your community day, because it is Sunday, at least in 2025. Take care of yourself day. A you got I don't know. A it's okay to be confused day. A good day, and if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. Very important part of that. And as Reverend Jesse likes to remind us, you are a godly. All right? I think we use that word because it implies something small, like sapling instead of a tree. We're not all of God. We're a tiny little splinter of God. But it's still, remember who you are. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. I don't know. I have Memorial Day off, so I don't know what that's going to look like. We're probably going to go for a bike ride in the morning. So, but I will do it tomorrow morning at some point. Okay. Take care of yourself. Wait, hang on. It is Sunday. So, if depending on what time you're watching this, we will have an amazing service for you in about an hour and 45 minutes, or we will you can just scroll up a video. All right, beloved, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.